It's a best of 17 frames. It's time now to welcome the players. We begin with a player who wasn't even on tour 12 months ago. He knocked out the reigning world champion en route to this, his first ever ranking event final. Welcome the Minister of Defence, Martin O'Donnell! With a maximum 1-4-7 break in last night's semi-final, looking to add the Welsh Open title to his 2 Scottish Open wins, the Tyneside Terror, Gary Wilson!
Settle in, folks. Enjoy the final with us. And good afternoon to our commentary team, Joe Johnson. And first up, it's Philip Studd.
The climax of a compelling 7 days of snooker action here in Llandudno, and also of the 8th Home Nations season, with more snooker history about to be written. Can Martin O'Donnell defy the odds and lift his first ranking title in his first final? Or can Gary Wilson become just the 3rd player this season, after a certain Ronnie O'Sullivan and Judd Trump, to be a multiple ranking titleist in this campaign? He'd be in very esteemed company if he can make it happen. That's the Ray Reardon Trophy they're playing for, along with a cheque for £80,000.
Been really well attended, well supported from day one. Packed house for the final session, but how many more frames? It's 7-3 to Gary Wilson. He's 2 away. Just made a break of 100. O'Donnell will know, of course, he has to cut out all errors if he gets another good chance like the last one. Absolutely has to take it, otherwise there'll be no comeback. And Wilson, of course, would have sympathy, I think, for, you know, coming into your first final. His was the China Open 2015 up against Mark Selby, already an established winner, indeed world champion at the time, and was beaten 10-2.
I suppose it was such a set plant, even though the reds were a way apart, that he said try and pot the first one naturally and he would see the second one go in. But he could be away here, and as I say, bursts of scoring from Gary Wilson are quite breathtaking at times. There was that match mentioned last night where he made 4 centuries in a row in a match where he was 4-2 down against Chris Wakelin. He was saying that it should have been 5. Very few players can produce scoring like that. That's like world-class scoring. That's O'Sullivan, Higgins, Hendry mode, isn't it?
12.
But he's capable of it in spells.
13.
Four hours. That doesn't include that re-rack. Quite a lengthy opening session. We had a 57-minute second frame. And in fact, that was even longer, wasn't it? Because there was a spectator taking ill.
20.
Well, is he on the black? He probably deserves to be. You never know quite where all the reds are going to go. Well, perhaps with a trace of right-hand side, but if you can pot the blue without any side or come up the table, I think that's what he'll play. I think he feels a bit unlucky about what happened on the previous shot. And I think he's left this red on as well, so O'Donnell has got to make something of this chance that's turned up from nowhere. You can see along the line that the red does go past the black.
One. Eight. Nine. Sixteen.
Well, he's not as straight on this as he would like to be, to the middle. And that's why he's missed it. And I'm afraid a few errors have really crept into his scoring game tonight at a time when he had to up his game. I wonder if a red goes through the gap here. Yeah, that goes right through.
One.
That was handy because at first, with the red up the table being covered by the green, it felt that O'Donnell had left nothing.
Gary Wilson, one.
Wow, he got nowhere near it. That came as a big surprise the way he's been playing. This is a big misjudgment on a black off the spot.
One.
Well, there's no real explanation for that, but again, O'Donnell has to take advantage. It's not like he's not been getting chances this evening.
Eight. Nine.
Played that nicely for that red because he could have gone too far or finished short, but it's perfect.
Seventeen.
A frame that looked like it was slipping away when he missed that red to middle, and very quickly back at the table with this chance.
$25.
Got to take it, however, at this point with a lead of 19 and counting.
Him in that Black was such a surprise. The scale by which he missed it, having just made a century last frame.
After one.
And O'Donnell was struggling. He needed something to happen, and this is what happened. Gary Wilson missed this to set up the chance that O'Donnell is trying to make the most of.
I don't think it even hit the jaw of the pocket. He missed it by so far.
32 to the good. 2 more reds needed for 7-4, which would guarantee an interval.
$39. $44.
Yeah, so a twist in the tail there. It kind of looked like things were petering out a bit for O'Donnell, but that miss from Wilson, unexpected miss. And here he is, he's poised for 7-4. Judd Trump, remember, was 7-3 down to Jangandra in the first Home Nations final of the season, the English Open. Turned that round.
$52.
Well, credit to O'Donnell, because he was struggling. And then it becomes, doesn't it, the big next frame klaxon gets sounded, because if you can make it 7-5, then you just never know. Wilson was looking a heavy favourite until he broke down there.
58.
This could yet turn into yet another Sunday night thriller.
60.
Important that O'Donnell starts scoring. He has done here, of course. It's only his third half century of the whole match.
$63.
He's worked so hard to get to his first final. Had to work hard to get back on tour, first and foremost. And he's determined to put up a good showing after a magnificent week here in Llandudno. Win or lose, he wants to feel he's given his best in this final. So this was an important contribution and a great break in the end.
$78.
An 85 clearance from Martin O'Donnell from the unexpected miss black from Gary Wilson. This final not done yet. Martin O'Donnell not done yet. He pulls another one back to trail 7-4. 4, obviously Wilson then just one away from that lovely Ray Reardon trophy. The target, he clearly would have set himself, O'Donnell, tonight in this mini session. He's win it. He'll have done that if he wins this frame.
It's a big one, isn't it, this one, because at 7-5 we've still got a match on. And 8-4 you feel that Wilson is still with that 4-frame lead, and frames are certainly running out, so a lot depends on the outcome of this 4th frame of the evening. 12th of the match. But I thought that was quite a good break that he made. He certainly was a little quicker through it, more fluent. Yes, the balls were there, but he took them well. Part of his game, I think, is improved. When he's in, he can be A bit more forthright in his shot selection. He's worried about this shot because of the red that's close to the pocket. It's hard to not leave it on. Stay close to the pocket. He's not hanging over the pocket, obviously on the right side, but clearly Wilson will be having a dart at it. He missed that because he played it with left-hand side. Straighten up the cue, we'll check it off the cushion, not go into the bunch.
We should say, and it's a small subplot, there's another person interested in this, Chris Wakelin, who at the moment is in 16th spot for the Players' Championship. He'll be in if Wilson wins. I say that because he put a post up on social media this morning, basically sort of biting his fingernails. He'll play Judd Trump tomorrow night, actually, if Gary Wilson wins the tournament.
Then he played to the cushion, not to the cushion and back out behind the yellow. It's probably safe to say that Gary's not had the best of run of the ball this evening. But a couple of the shots that he's missed were completely his own fault. There's a little nudges have gone in favour of O'Donnell, but he needed something to change from this afternoon. That's a good shot. Exactly as played. Very good. Hit the top side of the red.
Yeah, he played it well, and also he sort of, well, whatever he was feeling about the running O'Donnell had, he didn't let it show. He just played a good shot.
In the last couple of shots he's played, balls flying around everywhere. O'Donnell. I don't think he's left anything very easy. Some of the colours might be off their spots, but actually it's not altering the fact that a good chance would arise if someone was to leave something, because nothing's that difficult. And now the black's gone for now, so let's change that. Tied up by the red. think he took a risk there, trying to pop the red and maybe free the black at the same time. Well, there's plenty of reds to hit, but not many to either pot or play good safety shots from. It's quite a cluttered area down there on that left side. Don't know if he can pot anything along there. And the safety shot, as I say, is quite an awkward one. The two reds were lined up to the right corner, past the blue there. You can't get to it directly. No, it's quite an acute angle. This is the cue ball being right behind this red up the table. Makes it gettable, but it's not a simple shot to drop that in. You can easily hit the jaw on the way through. There's not a lot of pocket that you can see. A very good shot. I mean, it's right down that channel along the right there. And of course, he was always going to use the blue. It wasn't a fluke that he potted off the blue. I think this was part of the plan.
So, big colours in unorthodox positions. The pink will be available. Red spread far and wide.
Five.
Yeah, for that reason, you maybe come to the table with a different mindset, not to, make a century or whatever it is. Get 30 or 40. Where the balls are and see where it could lead from there. I still think those two reds might be a plant to the right corner. We've got a view from the back of the auditorium at the moment. I thought it still looked like one there, and it's just they can't quite get through to it. Yeah, I think they're very close, but there's a red in the way.
One thing I'll say for Gary, and I think this is absolutely sort of in good stead, when he won that first Scottish Open, he barely celebrated. He was happy, obviously, and delighted to get a trophy, but he didn't go to his head. It was kind of, okay, we'll tick that box, now on to the next one. He didn't have a good run the remainder of the year, but of course ended up winning it again.
18.
Same sort of attitude, really. It's a question of now trying to become a more regular winner.
19.
Now, if he pushes the left-hand red away from the other two, the plant becomes available. Because I'm sure that's on. And I think he spotted it much earlier in the frame when he couldn't do anything about it.
25.
From straight, I think is a certainty. It's just a little bit left jaw. But
27.
the red has come in the way of the pink, so the reserve, again, as it was earlier in the evening session, the brown is where the break's going to continue from. Just that, you see, it was a good plant, but the other red just got in the way of the line of the pink to the same pocket. Now, this is missable. Very clean. The kind of evening it's been for Gary, a little frustrating. You know, you could have easily seen him miss that one, that rest shot, but it went straight in the middle of the pocket.
Yeah, good sign, potting that. In this big frame pre-interval, as he attempts to get within one of the title.
36.
Remember Gary Wilson, having turned pro in 2004, initially dropped off in 2006. He was off for 7 years. You know, it looked like he's sort of come and gone in the game. So he's a bit of a late bloomer, if anything. And determined now he's got himself in the 16, got himself in the winner's circle. He's going to stay there.
42. $43.
Well, there was a twist in the last frame, wasn't there? Martin O'Donnell had the chance when Wilson missed unexpectedly. Got to say, though, there's a bit of a spring in Gary Wilson's step now. Looking confident again. Well, he was, but until he missed that. Wow, another unexpected miss, straight pink.
That pocket's not been his friend tonight, that left middle, for a number of reasons. It was never there.
One.
Well, I have to say that was completely unexpected, and, well, let's see. Will history repeat itself here? O'Donnell does get the chance that he was hoping for, maybe not expecting.
Seven. Eight.
It's nicely played. Yeah, and if there is going to be any turnarounds, and obviously he'd have to win this frame anyway for it to be the case, but a turnaround would involve a pretty dramatic change of fortunes, I think. Gary Wilson feeling uncomfortable having not won the frame when he was going so well. Just a series of circumstances that would enable O'Donnell to come back and maybe win this match.
14. $15.
there it is again, scarcely believable.
21.
O'Donnell still with work to do, but the frame looked over. It looked like 8-4 all day long.
It's hard to think he'll win the frame here. I mean, he could do, but there are a few reasons why it wouldn't happen in one visit. The red by the black, and of course the red on the left side, although of course as a left-hander that is reachable at least. Doesn't make the shot easy, but he can reach it. This is about the same sort of shot from the other side of the table that Wilson has just missed to the left middle pocket.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't have much angle on that pink, so looking now for a telling safety. $15 points in it.
Interesting shot there to get the red on the cushion in play rather than the other one. I thought he was going to play off the right-hand red of the two. But he played the one down the cushion just to bring that out as well. So it's probably a good choice of shot. Wilson playing safe from this red, not going for it. Cue ball was racing around the angles there. Well, the colour's all out in open play now, so again it's a question of whoever makes the first mistake might lose the frame.
Wow. Very Wilson 4.
Well, it's made no difference as far as a pot available.
Now, what might be significant, he's knocking the yellow on the cushion with the fact he's trailing. We'll see.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, fair point. The yellow might be an issue because he's going to need it, and Wilson may not if he can get in before that. Played that one well. That's a nice safety shot. He's got to be a bit careful on this right-hand red. It's a little close to the cushion. If he plays the up and down safety shot, he could get a double kiss if he catches too much of it. Well, he went very thin on it, so that was okay. Got to watch out for the red now. He doesn't get the cover. This is a possibility for O'Donnell. I think he'd like to get, if he's, the red that he pots next would be the one he would hope just below the pink, but he wants to be on the black from that to get the black on his spot for the red down the cushion. Important he gets on the black here. Very important. If possible, of course.
Five. Six.
He's either going to pop the red down the cushion or he's going to roll this in and play the snooker behind the black when it's re-spotted. Oh dear, that's a terrible miss. He's not doing anything there.
Martin O'Donnell.
I mean, he could have played it to actually try and get on the red. It was a little bit negative, the whole process, and he ended up missing one that he had no right missing, to be honest. This is... I mean, he's just trying to roll it in and play the snooker. Wilson didn't try and do anything flash there. He got a bit of a let-off. I mean, everyone misses balls, but that one was pretty inexcusable, really.
Well, Gary Wilson will need the yellow, but importantly also the green. So that's one thing that has slightly changed.
Well, he's gone with the shot to play the snooker, and he's played it well. I mean, there's a little bit of risk attached if you don't get the snooker. You leave a chance at the red. But he has played it well. Seems that Gary Wilson, when he's chanced his arm a few times tonight, he's not got much luck out of the situation. He's left a thin red, but it's not an easy one. So it's a big shot now, and of course Dave was saying that Gary Wilson wanted yellow and green earlier on in the frame, but of course the same applies to O'Donnell now. He's got to get onto the yellow and then onto the green. Still will be behind when he does so. It's not an easy shot. Well, especially from there.
Martin O'Donnell, 8.
Well, this is a huge moment now in the final on the colours. 8-4 or 7-5 heading to the interval. It's been a battle, hasn't it? We started 2 hours ago tonight. This now the key moment of the whole evening.
Yes, it was not a good shot. I think he must have played it up and down to the right cushion there. Well, the pick that Gary Wilson missed, at the moment it's not costing in the frame because it's not perfect here to get from green to brown, but if it does, it's going to be an uncomfortable few minutes if he loses this frame. He was absolutely in command. Mr. Pink to middle for no reason. But he hasn't lost the frame yet.
Martin O'Donnell, 2.
There was a terrific chance.
Yes, it's no consolation that he's on the brown. Missed the green. So the battle on the yellow that was vital now becomes the battle on the green. He walked around pretty quick there, didn't he, just to check he'd actually got the cover on the green, which you can see he very much has. So this is trouble for O'Donnell, got to get it safe. Otherwise it could be 8-4 and Wilson's one away from the trophy.
Very solidly played out of that snooker. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Wilson was tempted by this. If it's not straight, it would be better. He's got the angle to run it through, and he has. His head towards the brown. It's tough. And it's been a stodgy old frame, so it's not always easy to get your best cueing together on a shot like this, but I can't see that he'll refuse it. Well, he has. There you are. That shows you that he isn't confident, because he isn't normally a very attacking player. I guess it's like anything else. You know, if you don't fancy a shot, then you can't go for it, but I've seen him play shots like that basically all week, and he's knocked most of them in. He's walked around the table here. I'm not sure why, but he must be thinking about not playing it directly, because I can't see why would you not play what you can see, and he can see the edge of it. He's determined he's going to play it off cushions. I'm surprised by this. Oh, goodness me, what has he done there? He could see the green anyway to play safe from it. That's a
Free ball.
gross miscalculation. What on earth was he doing?
Yeah, but I thought it was a risk, you know, get it the black off two cushions, but he got the blue on the way through.
Yeah, and he could see it, as I say, the green initially.
Right.
Interesting was it's going back, but will he just try and hit the green now? Because there's no doubt that he could see, maybe not a quarter, but a chunk of the edge of the green, which I think would have just kissed onto the black for safety.
Yeah, it's an important replacement. Not so much the blue, the cue ball, obviously. Colin Humphries helping Leo Scullion.
The blue's nowhere near there.
Another 6
And
inches.
in fairness, as I say,
2 inches.
you know, Leo is not thinking about where that blue is.
Half an inch.
He's thinking about
Which way? The same way you were going.
He's thinking about where the cue ball was in relation to the green.
Yeah, that's the important ball, because, as you say, you could see some of it. We'll come to that when they've sorted the blue out.
And blue is important as well, obviously, because he hit it on the way through, but it's just not something that poor Leo was thinking about.
Towards the cushion. Yeah, side cushion. It's about right now. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. But you know, the fact that he hit it on the way through playing this shot.
That way. That much. Same again. That way. Yeah, that's fine.
Now, what's he going to try this time?
Okay, give me that.
You know, see down the line of this.
Yeah. Okay. Thanks. Thanks, Colin.
Well, it'd be really nice to see down the line of this shot, because he could see the edge of it. I still don't know why he's not playing it directly.
Foul. And a miss. Gary Wilson, 4.
I honestly don't know what he's doing on those last two shots.
Well, he seems to have left the pot on. I was just thinking, I mean, but for the knuckle, I think that would have been a free ball. But anyway, the green seems to be on. Wilson 12 in front. Green and brown he needs for 8-4.
Well, the guys in the studio might have an opinion, but I've no idea why he didn't directly hit the edge of that green, because he could do, and it looked a very safe option, and yet he decided something else needed to be done. To me, that was a huge mistake when he could have got closer in this final. Massive match for him.
Big moment, for sure. He's battled hard tonight. It's not been fluent Gary Wilson, despite that century he made in frame 10, but he's won this little mini battle, it would seem. blue stays out, so 1 snooker needed.
Gary Wilson, 7.
Otherwise, Wilson's 1 from becoming Welsh Open champion.
Thank you.
Yeah, the double kiss left the blue, and Gary Wilson has won a 42-minute 12th frame to go to the interval with his 4-frame advantage re-established. It's been hard-fought stuff tonight, but the fact is, Gary Wilson... So the players are back after the interval. Gary Wilson won a huge frame of nearly 43 minutes duration to get to 8-4, to get that breathing space, and to get within 1 of the Ray Reardon Trophy. Martin O'Donnell has got to win the last 5 if he is to complete a fairy tale week here in Llandudno as champion. The thing is, he's had the chances as well in all 4 of the frames there. Just on Ray Reardon, I had the pleasure of actually going down to Churston Golf Club to interview him last year, and he's still very, very sharp, still a great character. So many stories about his decades in the game. And a very significant figure as well in the 1970s. Alex Siggins, of course, was a player who brought a lot of people to snooker, but Ray Reardon, in a way, was the establishment figure, but he was also someone who demanded change, and some of those venues in the 70s were not great. And it was down to Ray Reardon to an extent that we ended up at the Crucible, because as world champion he had certain authority, and the rest really is history.
Good safety shot. He's got a good blend, really, Gary Wilson. He can play good safety. He can mix it in that department, and we know he's been a very heavy scorer this week. He can do that too. So he's no obvious weaknesses. Maybe, you know, Gary Wilson's temperament has been something that's let him down in the past. I think he's admitted to that. He seems to have got that under control as well. In general, he's a bit emotional out there. I suppose it's all about Martin O'Donnell, though. He's got to prove his temperament after that last frame, which he might well have won. How is he going to win 5 frames in a row? It looks a very tall order, doesn't it?
It does, and these stats, they're not great. It's not been the highest quality final. There's no point pretending otherwise. Certainly, from his perspective, they've all got to go up in the remainder of this match. If he could, you know, it's all ifs and buts, but if he could, you know, win a frame in 1 visit, it does just send the message to Wilson that he's going to get this one. It's not going to be handed to him. Playing a slow roll here into them. And he's worried it's rolling off. That is the risk. So he's set up Wilson for his first chance here. Just trying to drop into the reds, but he's left one on.
It's not the kind of shot you want to be playing, is it? That really, I mean, it's the last resort to roll up to a ball. You're in the lap of, you know, the gods as to where the balls will finish if it just rolls off or anything.
Point.
Worked out very well, but he got serious backspin on that one. He kind of almost was willing the cue ball out of that little area. And I suppose it's one of those where you can't put too much screw on the ball on that, because you've got to keep screwing back through a lot of balls. So this could be where he gets this match won. It's interesting, isn't it? Because he's not played all that well today, Gary Wilson. Not as well as he can, but you know, if he goes on to win his third ranking event and he's not played his best today, there's something ominous about that, isn't there? He's become a winner when a lot of players that are ranked higher than him, it's a long time since they won anything, and he's moved his game up a couple of notches in the last 18 months, and now he's picking up trophies.
No, that's absolutely right. I think what's changed is his head doesn't drop now. You know, he tell himself his temperament in the past wasn't always the best, but he's become very tenacious, even when things aren't going well. And, of course, it's not just about the final, it's about the whole tournament. You have to win 7 matches to win a Home Nations, and from the last 16 to the semis, he whitewashed Robert Milkins and Anthony McGill. Of course, he played a wonderful match with John Higgins, held off the comeback.
14.
So he's played really good stuff this week. Just got to try and get it won now.
Twenty. $21.
Obviously going to be difficult without the black available to him. He wouldn't even want to try and get on it with the red on the black spot. He'll have to try and win this with whatever is in the middle of the table. Just overscrewed a bit on that pink for the red that he wanted to the right corner. Might still end up playing it. Alternative is the one into the left pocket, but have to get the rest out. And find a way onto a colour as well, which won't be easy on this shot. Put a bit of right-hand side on that, just to miss the reds, and he's not perfectly on it.
Well, no, he's missed an easier pink than this, hasn't he, already this evening?
Yeah, big deceleration on that one. He slowed the cue down, and we talk about decelerating. He meant to hit. The cue's meant to be going at the quickest at the time you hit it, but he's slowing down, and you overcut them. So Gary Wilson was quite disappointed for a while after that pink to middle he just missed. So I'm sitting there and he kept shaking his head as if to say, well, what's happening? But what's happening is he is 8-4 up, first to 9 to beat this man, so he shouldn't be too despondent. He's on the verge of another ranking title, he's third. Just having a little bit of an in and out evening. He started 6-2 and he's held this session to 8-4, so he's just doing fine. And he's not really being put under loads of pressure by O'Donnell, who slowed up a little bit again. Took quite a while on that last safety shot he had a few issues with. Well, that's not dead on that plant, but with the cue ball up the table, it kind of becomes a more natural shot to make it into a plant. What I mean by that is if the cue ball was down to the left, you know, that's just not really a way of making it, straightening it up. A lot of these plants are about where the cue ball is in relation to the two balls you're trying to make into a plant, I think. A shot like that, it was a natural to go close to the pocket, and also the cue ball coming back round the table.
Yeah, so he's in for a second time in the frame. He needs to get this one. Just sort of feels like he will get enough chances. Whether he takes this one. Be interested to see what he says if he wins. He's quite sort of self-critical at times, Gary. Hopefully, though, he'll understand the achievement. If he does get over the line, 3 ranking titles, having spent
6.
18 years from turning pro before winning his first. And it will put him in a very strong position for the rest of the season.
Eleven.
Well, he's overcutting quite a few of these shots now.
11.
The last 3 balls he's missed, he's overcut considerably. I don't know if that was a deceleration as well, but all of a sudden he's just not lining them up the right way. And he's got his own little battle, despite being, as I say, on the brink of another win. But as I say again, he's not really being pressurised by O'Donnell now. Played brilliantly all week, Martin O'Donnell, but he hasn't really lived up to that today, and he knows it.
Fine.
Chance number 3. This is the difference, isn't it? You know, you fluff one chance and the opponent clears up, you bang under it, but that's not what's happened.
Yeah.
felt that the yellow was the only ball that took him all the way around the angles. He couldn't do much with the green. Pink was the wrong side as well. Now, has he got the shot to pop this red on the black spot and hold for the black? Of course, it would be freed up by then. Yeah, this is... he's virtually over the line here. If this black goes in, he gets on a red. He's already accumulated points in a not particularly pleasing way to him, but he's still nearly there. I mean, if he is to win, it will be interesting to hear what he says when interviewed. He'd probably be quite critical of himself, because he was even, in some way, suggesting he was disappointed towards the end of the match with John Higgins after all that break building. And it was a fantastic game of snooker. He held John Higgins off. It's hard to think that he could have done
12.
A lot more to beat someone as good as John. He played brilliantly. Today's been a different story, though. I hope he will be encouraged, because he's starting to win ranking events.
He's played better of the two, and that ultimately is what you've got to do in any match. Martin O'Donnell, big occasion for him, his first ever final. That 12th frame was a killer.
20.
And Gary Wilson just checking the scores, needs this black, and he will add the Welsh Open to the 2 Scottish Opens he's already won. He just got that breathing space, didn't he, at 8-4. 7-5 maybe could have been a different story.
27.
But the story is, it's a hat-trick of ranking titles for Gary Wilson.
28.
Wonderful week for Martin O'Donnell. Wasn't even on tour last year. I'm sure in time he'll take the positives, even though he'll be disappointed with his performance here after that wonderful semi-final win over Elliot Slesser. Gary Wilson as well, the semi-final for him, the highlight, with the maximum against John Higgins last night.
43.
The question was asked, wasn't it? Could Gary Wilson win a ranking event going back to late 2022? And since then, he's won 3. Gary Wilson is the winner of the Welsh Open in 2024. It wasn't the highest quality final, but he has prevailed by 9 frames to 4 against Martin O'Donnell, and he will collect the Ray Reardon Trophy. And also, of course, the cheque for £80,000 will be coming his way, and a rankings boost to 12 in the world. That's his highest ever position.
Bet Victor Welsh Open champion, the Tyneside Terror, Gary Wilson!
Well, Gary Wilson getting used to this, isn't he? Have to make room on the mantelpiece for another trophy. He's right, it's been a long journey, but he's now firmly ensconced in snooker's winner's circle. And there is another trophy for his collection. It's been a terrific week of snooker here in Llandudno. And there is the last man standing with the Ray Reardon Trophy. Congratulations to Gary Wilson.